So I'm sitting working my way through comments and notes on my thesis. My master's thesis is due in a week, and I've been sending the latest draft to my brother and my supervisor to have a look at. And my brother just said something very interesting, which is that looking over my draft is not what he expected, because what he normally does is gets everything to like a level of perfect that he's happy to share. Not necessarily perfect because he's asking for notes, but full sentences, it's in the order he's happy with. And I was sending him something that was very work in progress. Lots of dot points, some structured paragraphs here and there, but mostly just kind of an outline with things. And it got me thinking, I used to be exactly the same as him, and this is not at all a judgment call on which is better, but they're two very different ways of working. I think by nature I want this to be exactly how I imagined it in my head before I share it with you. But training as an editor has changed the way I write essays, and I'm very curious moving forward to see what else it's changed. But I just wanted to share briefly that I've just kind of been thinking about that today. The way you edit a film in kind of the industry studio sense, it's very different if you're doing your own independent stuff or even just cutting a YouTube video, totally different story. But the proper way to edit a film, what we've been learning, how we've been taught to edit films is you do an assembly, you just put things in kind of the right places, you show the director, you get the director's notes, and then you start on the rough cuts. And you work your way through getting things kind of happy, kind of how you want them, then you show it to someone, you get feedback, you do some changes. You show it to different people, you get feedback, you do some changes. There's a lot of getting in audiences to watch the film and ask them, what do you think the story was? Is there stuff that made sense? Were there places in the film where you were bored? Did you care about the characters? Just kind of general feedback on, is this working, which is a very different way of working compared to make it exactly how you want to make it and then show it to the world. And once upon a time, I was the person who wrote their essay the day it was due. There's no time for feedback. I just write what I think is good and then I hand it in, and then when I am not showered with praise by my teacher, I take it personally. Even though if I had actually just asked the teacher for some input and taken on their feedback, I would have got better marks because they're the ones marking it. It's the same with filmmaking. It matters what the audience thinks, so you want to hear as soon as you can. So anyway, I just been thinking about that today. There's nothing wrong with the version of making stuff where you get it to a point where you're really happy with it before you share it. There are definitely places where that is the best way forward, but when you're editing a film, you do a lot of asking for feedback and showing people stuff that is embarrassingly underfinished. And I kind of just realized today that that's become habit for me. I just did that thing with an essay. I shared something that was embarrassingly underfinished and kind of said, all right, shoot, hit me with your best shot. So maybe there's something to be said for, I don't know, studying film editing just to learn some resilience, be able to take harsh feedback. Maybe there'll be other areas of my life where I kind of function as an editor. Maybe not. But I just wanted to share those thoughts because I kind of now feel like I want to add them into my thesis, but that's not, it's interesting, but it's not relevant. So they can go here on YouTube, the place where I put interesting and irrelevant things.